Hello, my name is Charles, and the sole purpose of this video is for my oral examination in mathematics of investment. Now, let's get down right to it when it comes to discussing the first topic, which is the sinking fund. Now, the sinking fund, it refers to securing a specific amount of money through equal series of payments. Now, essentially, the specific amount of money that needs to be met is actually due on a specific date. So through equal periodic payments, a sinking fund would be formed. And essentially, sinking funds are utilized for retiring debts, any form of debts, or securing bonds as well. Or if a company would like to purchase a specific item or an asset, whatever you call it, it just depends on what the goal of a particular company. Now, why set up a sinking fund? Is it really worth it? Well, if anything, it actually secures financial stability for the company itself, because purchasing or retiring debts are not particularly cheap. They're expensive on a perspective. So through setting up a sinking fund, they can actually break down these payments and eventually finish them off on a specific time period. So this may take years as well, and multiple types of payments, multiple payments. And for us to have a better understanding more on sinking fund, we would proceed on the formulas. As I mentioned earlier, series of periodic payments. So that would mean we need to find out how much we would be paying on a periodic payment. So as you can see from the screen itself, is R is equal to S multiplied to I over 1 plus I raised to N subtracted to 1. Now, that would be a baseline when it comes to periodic payment. That's the equal number that you would always see when it comes to this sinking fund. And secondly, amount of fund after the nth year. So this translates to what particular fund you would need to know on a specific year after 6 years, 5 years, depending on what you want. That's why I indicated nth year, even though it's represented as K, since the letter N is actually being utilized as a different variable, which is M multiplied to T. So you do that, you would find out the specific amount after a specific year. And if you would want to find out the specific interest after that particular year, you may use the succeeding formula, which is R multiplied to 1 plus I raised to K minus 1, then subtracted to 1. Now, after doing this, you would eventually have a table spreading statistics of the sinking fund, serving as a breakdown, whatever you need to know, and to actually monitor if everything is going right. And let me give you an example, such as 8-year crafts would need to retire the debt, which would require them to pay $800,000 in 3 years. Now, the company sets up a sinking fund to secure payments at the end of the month with 5% interest that is compounded monthly. So, to have a better understanding, let me just break it down in my table that I prepared for this. So, as you can see in this, as we have mentioned earlier, they have a 5% interest rate, and 12, it's compounded monthly, so that would mean as well that they would be paying 12 times on monthly. And within 3 years, the time, they would need to have 800,000. So these are your given variables, or your given digits. So for us to have the periodic payment, as I've mentioned earlier, with the formula, but this is for you to see in an Excel perspective. So once you do the formula, perform it with substituting the value, with the I, with the M as well, and N, you would be ending up on with 20,643, and with a complete decimal within the Excel perspective. Now, as you can see here, how did it go to 36 payments? So I mentioned earlier, 12 is the payments per year, and then you'll be doing it in 3 years. So 12 times 3 is equal to 36 payments. So you'd be ending up with 36 payments entirely in the sinking fund itself. So now, essentially, we have here at the end of the interval, as you've mentioned in the problem, right? At the end of the month, they would be securing those payments. So we don't put a value in the beginning of the interval, because it's at the end of the interval whenever we add a variable. So when we do that, we end up with the value of at the end of the interval, and then with the beginning, same value, we just multiply to our variable letter I, we get the interest, and then add again since it's another additional payment, and then we get the end of the interval. do that until the risk payment. That would be your sinking fund entirely, and you would know you would correct if you get the final accumulated goal, which is 800,000. So as a breakdown, that would be it. Thank you.